welcome back to the video, guys. Sorry for the road noise. I'm doing this on the street today. Today I am going to be installing this LED switch, which I've opened, to replace my rocker switch for my LED light bar. So I got this on Amazon, and I wanted to replace this one that I've temporarily installed a while back that I have gone through sort of the OBD port there. So what I'm planning on doing is I want to install this probably right around here, right near the steering column, so that it's easy to reach and just sort of flick on and off. The plan is to run the wires underneath this rubber tray here, and there is a hole under here, and I'm going to remove this side panel here using a torque screw. So what I will do is get that off, and I did buy some wires for extension, so I'm going to have to do some wiring there as well, extending those wires out. But yeah, let me get this panel removed, and I'm going to get this bottom panel there removed, take this off, and then we will figure out how to get this thing wired up looking nice, looking clean, and yeah, we're gonna get started. So first things first, we want to make sure that this switch actually works. So I've got it plugged in to where the old rocker switch was, so we're just going to give that a quick flick. You see the blue light is on, so that's a good sign. And the LED light is on, so alright, so this switch works, so we're going to get this thing installed. The plan is to go up and tuck it up. Obviously you can see where I've got it going through the firewall, which, if you saw my last video, was an extremely complicated process. Probably the hardest part about this install. So yeah, don't worry about this. This is just the connector to the light well light on the panel that was here. So yeah, we're going to get this removed, and we're going to see where we can run the wires through. My goal is to have it run up, and hopefully it's going to come out through somewhere up here. So we'll give that a shot. So this is the panel removed. As you can see, there's a lot of other wiring harnesses that have sort of been threaded through here. Then I have the rubber piece removed, so there is a big gap right here. I'm gonna see what it looks like if I remove this piece. Obviously I can't use the holes for that because that's where the tray inserts go for that, unless I wanted to venture and just drill straight through that and have the wire run straight down. But I don't think it'll look as clean because the wire will sort of come out the back end of the rocker switch. So I want to see if I can actually get it in here. So if I'm going to remove this panel, hopefully I can create a little bit of space, although it's a pretty tight gap in there. But I'll see what I can do. I think this is just plastic, so maybe even just drilling out a little bit of an indent there might work. So let me see if that comes off. I don't see why it shouldn't, but we'll give that a try and see what that looks like. So I've got the screw removed, but I don't think this thing is going to budge much. I think it's part of the dashboard. It's part of this whole unit here, and I think so that's installed because this thing is not moving whatsoever. So we're gonna go to plan B and see if we can just wire it through this gap here. So what I've done is I've got this fish line that I've put into that hole there, and I have my wires here to the sort of taped to the end, which I'm gonna funnel up through. It does connect. At first I thought I had to run it through this little hole there, and I was gonna run it up here somehow, blah blah blah, but figured, you know what, when I got underneath there was a bit of sunlight. I don't think I can get the angle for the camera to see that. I did get the wire extended here, and put some shrink wrap on it. Hopefully that's gonna hold. I've got it as tight as I possibly can. I am definitely not an electrician by trade, but you know, figure you put two wires together and twist them up and then put some shrink wrap on there, and hopefully they'll hold. And I'm not going to have a lot of tension on these wires anyways, so that should be no issue there. So what I'm going to do is just start pulling up here and see if I can get the wires through. There we go. That was pretty easy, and I'm going to need two hands to sort of finish off this job. But you can see I'm going to sort of tuck the wires. It's sorry for the camera work. It's sitting right in front of the brake pedal mechanism, so I'm going to have to tuck that up and find somewhere to sort of get a plastic tie and just sort of tie it up and make it clean and sort of stay out of the way, because I'm definitely not going to want all these wires sort of sitting up, so I'm going to retuck a lot of this slack into the dashboard. So let me get that done and we'll get back into sort of where we're going to be. Okay, so I've got it all wired up now. I used the shrink wrap here to put the rocker switch on. Jeez, I'm horrible with my words right now. Sorry guys. So we're just going to test if this works. So there you got the blue light. And there you got the LED light. So yeah, this is going to be good. All right, I'm just going to tuck all the wires in like I said before. Get everything cleaned up so it sort of stays out of the way of everything, and get it installed. And again, I'm thinking about putting it sort of right there. It's close by. It's not a perfect fit, but you know, it's easy access. One of the other ideas was to sort of put it up here on there, but then I wouldn't know what to do with that wire back there. I guess I could, if I just tuck it, but then it just won't look as clean as I was hoping. And this sort of triangle area seems to be just a perfect spot for this thing. So just want to make it as nice and neat and as, I guess, factory looking as possible. And yeah, get this thing all buttoned up and cleaned up. Okay, I've got this now installed. I took the double-sided tape off, have it installed right there on the steering column. A little bit of wire sticking out. I've gone and tucked all the wires and tucked it into this kick panel here, so you can see all those white, red, and black wires. I've sort of moved it around, made sure that it stays clear of the brake mechanism. I tried to make sure too that there isn't a lot of tension on the wiring up here, and if you can see, sort of loosen that up so it takes a lot of tension away, and sort of it's all tucked up in there. It's threaded through dashboard, and you can see here I have it sort of sticking out right there and just going along the back. I don't know if you can see that. And then, I mean, this is obviously going to be sticking up for a little bit just because you got that big wire harness on the back. But it's not too bad, and I think that after a while that's just going to settle down a little bit. not too noticeable when you don't really look at it. Yeah, when you're just in the driving position, scoot over here, it's kind of factory. It's got just a little bit sticking out just due to the curvature there, but a lot easier to access for me than, say, reaching down on the lower panel. I was going to install it here, but I just feel like reaching down every time I want to use it. Whereas if I'm driving, I can, you know, be cruising along and just flip that switch right there. Of course, not as easy as there, but I think this looks better being right over there. I guess for me, it was just about keeping it as factory looking as possible, making sure all the wires are sort of tucked away and not sort of sticking out. You know, I guess one of the annoying things that I wish Land Rover did was to put some auxiliary switches either in the center console or down below there, or even up on the top, sort of like how the new Ford Bronco does it, and I guess a lot of other four-wheel drives do it. I think Toyota and Jeep already have the auxiliary switches built in, which would make life so much easier, and it would just look a lot nicer in this car. Given that it's a Defender, I'm not sure why Land Rover decided against it, but anyways, that being that, this is the rocker switch installation, and now it's definitely a much more permanent fix. Anyways, if you like this video, please hit that like button and please subscribe to the channel. I'm going to try to have a lot more on the Defender. Obviously, that's a great car. It's had some glitches with the Pivi Pro and, you know, with software updates and whatnot, but other than that, this thing has been smooth sailing. Really just a fantastic riding car. I've also made a couple additional adds to it. I did get the Mega Warrior rack on the top. Let's see that. But I've got the Mega Warrior rack that I put on and had to spread out the crossbars a little bit to make it fit well. I know you're supposed to have them a little bit more centered, but because of the light bar, I couldn't push that forward, and I didn't want to push that one too far forward, be off balance, and I think it's fine. I'm not loading too much on there, no more than by 100 pounds. So yeah, hope you guys you know, are able to use this video to make your own customized functions on your Defender. Pretty easy to work on, a lot of space to work. So yeah, give me a like, give me a subscribe, would really appreciate it, and we'll put a lot more content on here soon enough. Thanks a lot.